about all of the legal stuff in this a little bit further. It's complicated. So we're going to speak to Triestino Mariniello. He's a professor of law at Liverpool John Moores University, and he's a member of the legal team representing Gaza victims before the ICC. We talked a little bit there about Joseph Kony, and I just wonder then what you think will happen next in terms of a potential prosecution of Benjamin Netanyahu and Yoav Gallant. Are we just kind of stuck then in potentially a 20-year hiatus where no legal case and no trial is going to take place if, indeed any other member states refuse to arrest them?
Well, first of all, many thanks for having me today. The most likely scenario is this one, that at least in the short term, Netanyahu and Gallant are not going to be arrested and extradited to The Hague. But this does not mean that the decision of yesterday is not going to produce any effect. Does not mean that the decision is historic. Most likely, the decision will have both political and legal effects. I mean, politically, will undermine Netanyahu and his capability to act as a prime minister, as he cannot visit 124 states, as you correctly said, if they are going to implement such arrest warrants. But also think that this decision is going to pave the way to other cases before the same International Criminal Court against other senior leaders, both political and military leaders, not only for crimes committed in the Gaza Strip, but also in the West Bank, including the settlements as one the mostly documented war crime before the International Criminal Court, but also pave the way to domestic cases against Israeli nationals, in particular Israeli soldiers who have double nationality and can be accused of being involved before national jurisdiction for the involvement in the commission of these crimes against humanity and war crimes that the court is bringing against Netanyahu and Gallant at the moment.
Okay, so potentially opening the floodgates for a range of different types of prosecution at the ICC, but also beyond. There is a legal maxim that says justice delayed is justice denied. Is there a problem when global institutions, the world's courts, simply take so long to have these trials?
Well, we have regularly raised this concern on behalf of Palestinian victims before the International Criminal Court. I would like to remind everyone that the situation in Palestine before the International Criminal Court did not start in October, has not started yesterday with the arrest warrant. It started in 2009 when for the first time the state of Palestine referred the situation, accepted the jurisdiction of the International Criminal Court. We have waited for 15 years to have some concrete effective measures, so the issuance of arrest warrants. Justice delayed is justice denied for victims, particularly the Palestinians, who do not have any alternative to justice beyond the International Criminal Court. But also the delay in bringing justice has also an incredibly negative impact on the possibility to conduct investigation. For instance, it's widely documented that during the 2014 war in Gaza, Israeli authorities committed war crimes and crimes against humanity. But how is it possible after more than 10 years conduct investigation for the International Criminal Court in that context?
Now, in Hungary, the Prime Minister Viktor Orbán has just said that he would invite the Israeli leader Benjamin Netanyahu to visit Hungary, even though Hungary is an ICC member state. What would happen to Hungary or other countries that allow that? And if they don't comply with these warrants, doesn't it just make a joke of the whole thing?
Well, this is not surprising. This position by the Hungarian authorities is not surprising. Hungary has regularly and systematically opposed to the ICC intervention into the Palestinian context, has also submitted submissions to the ICC, mainly raising political, not legal arguments against the intervention of the ICC. It will not be the first time that a state party is not going eventually to implement the arrest warrant. This already happened in the past, for instance, in relation to the case against the former president of Sudan, Omar al-Bashir, particularly when he visited South Africa, but also against the president of Russia, Putin, when he has visited Mongolia. What does the ICC procedure establish in these cases? it provides that the chamber, so the court, can issue a note, can refer this situation in particular to the Assembly of State Parties, so the political bodies of the International Criminal Court, and the Assembly of State Parties can deal with this issue in relation to the specific state not compliant. But unfortunately, like it happened many times, and with international law, there is no way to impose the implementation of such a decision on the states unwilling to execute, to implement the arrest warrant.
Okay, Triestino Mariniello, thank you so much for joining us.